Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It with Pastor E. Come on, like, share, subscribe, follow us. Let's Talk About It with Pastor E. Hey, I'm back again with another fresh take on something from triumphs from your trauma or your solutions from your struggles or where we at today. I started off this whole podcast with face-to-face, about getting face-to-face with who you are before anything can happen for you. So today I wanted to talk about better. Who wants better? You know, if you even look, even at my shirt, you see it says Thrive in 25. That's our mission statement at Ministry of Motion for this year, about thriving, because we want better. I know you want better. I mean, if life is doing everything good for you right now, if your life has been good, then okay, well, I'm still sure that you want better. If life isn't good for you, then you definitely want better. I don't know if it's just a better job, a better relationship, even with your kids or your spouse or whoever it is, but even a better relationship with God. So we're talking about better because evidently something in your life you have seen that hey, this isn't satisfying. I need more than what I have right now. It's got to be more than this. Maybe you live in a apartment and you want a house. That's better. You're taking public transportation and you want your own car, so you want better. Your bank account is overdraft, so you want better. You're tired of living from check to check, so, we want better. So I believe all of us want better. Even millionaires and billionaires, they still want better. That's why they invest. We call it sowing in the church world, but that's what they do. Why? Because they want more than what they have. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more. You should want more. Some of us need more grace, more love, more understanding, more forgiveness. We want more. So now, more, it means better. I want better. So in order to get better, from Pastor E's point of view, is I have to identify what's wrong. If I can't identify what's wrong, then how can I ever want better? So, for example, if I'm a person that likes to drink and I'm spending my money on alcohol, but my bank account is an overdraft, but whenever I get more money, I continue to spend it on alcohol. The alcohol is something that I have to change. Why? Because I want better. So unless you change something, you're not getting any better. Insanity, what's the definition? Continuing to do the same things over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So if my life is not as good as I want it to be, that means I got to change something so that something will change. So that means change something so that something will change. That's Pastor E's little word. That's like my TD Jakes line. I'm about to get some shirts made with all of that. Change something so that something will change. And you're changing for the better because evidently it's something that's causing something negative in your life. I don't care what it is. When you're in relationships, you got an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. Why? Because something about that needed to change. It's over. So now, if you're not a husband or a wife or whatever you're going to be, until you are that, something had to change. So I don't know how many people you dated. I don't know how many people you didn't date, whatever it is, but you had to change until you found better. Better happens with change. The problem is we don't like change. Change don't feel good. It don't taste good. We just used to what we think makes us feel good for the moment. Again, we party on the weekends, drinking and doing all that. But now we wake up with hangovers and the same issue that we just dealt with, they never went anywhere because we really didn't deal with it. All we did was go to hang out and drink at the bars and smoke and do whatever we got to do for a temporary fix to help us deal with whatever trauma or struggles we're having in life. So the alcohol or the drugs or whatever it is, it's not working for you. So now your money's messed up for whatever that is because you're spending your money, you're paying $30, $40 to get into the bar, then you buying drinks. So now you done spent $100 that night when you could have took that $100 and did something different with it. Even if you just saved that money. So imagine if you spending $100 a weekend and you started to save that $100, how much money would you have in your bank account? I don't think you'll be overdrafted like you are. So now I have to change something. So guess what? What am I going to do? Hey, you know what? Maybe I won't go to the club this week. And it doesn't even have to be that. It could be people who like to golf. There's people who like to golf. Golf ain't cheap. You get the cart, you get all that. It's whatever it is. So now, guess what? Maybe I shouldn't be golfing every weekend. I got to cut back. So that means I have to change something. When you change something, something's got to change for you. It's your action is going to bring a reaction. The problem is the actions that when something happens to us, the action that we take is a reaction. The reaction is going to come from that action. And that's what's going to bring your result, whether it's good or bad. Whether it's good or bad. So now, how do we do this? We have to now begin to make good choices. So what that means is we're responsible for how we respond. When life throws you a curveball, how you respond to hitting it is going to be if you're going to knock it out the box. Maybe you're not supposed to swing at the curveball because guess what? It's there to trick you. So you know what? I have to wait on it. But we keep swinging at the curveballs and that's why we're out. So now here we are looking in the mirror saying, Dag, how did I get here? How did you get here? It was how you responded. So right now, the way you respond is saying, guess what? I need to change this. How do you change it? With your response. I'm not going to respond. Whatever life throws at me, I'm not going to respond in a way that has brought me a negative result. That's changing something. So when I'm angry, if I know, hey, guess what? I punch a hole in the wall when I'm angry. Now I got to go fix all the holes in my house because I've been punching holes in the wall. So guess what? I'm going to stop punching holes in the wall. Go punch a pillow instead. It's not going to be a hole there. I have to change the response. By not punching a hole in the wall, guess what happened now? I don't have to pay money to fix this hole in the wall. So now here goes, guess what? A direct effect on my bank account because I'm not spending $250 to fix this hole in the wall. So I have to change something. Today, I'm in this podcast. That's what I wanted to talk about. Yo, we got to be ready to change. Change. We don't like change. I go to the store. I don't want no more pennies in my pocket. I'm not trying to act like Pastor E is bougie and all of that. But I don't like change. Listen, I'm giving them, and it's crazy because the younger generation is completely different. But, you know, if they giving me $31.97, I'm like, no, I don't want the 97 cents. Here goes 3 cents. You know what I mean? I want to give you the 3 cents, so give me back $1. They don't understand. Why? Because I don't want all that change. Who wants to walk around with all that change? Nobody. Dollars always make sense. You know what I mean? So nobody likes change. So when you're talking about change in your life, do you really want it? If you don't want to change, nothing's going to change for you. Nothing will ever change. You're just going to wake up the same way. You're going to go week to week, day to day, month to month, year to year. Same thing until you change something. When you begin to change something, that's when you're going to see the positive results in your life. when you have positive change, everybody sees it. They come and be like, yo, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? You know that. People that you are associated with, that's been around your life, when they change something, you've noticed it. And you might have asked them, what you doing now? It's like somebody who's fat. You start seeing them, they lost weight. They started doing something. So what they do? They changed their diet. They changed their workout. They did whatever. And then you noticed it. You're like, dang, he or she look good right now. Why? Because when you saw them before, they was obese. They were all right when you saw them, but you were conditioned to see them that way until they decided to make a change. Now, what made them change? Pastor E, I had to change. I'm tired of being on medicine. So I had to what? Start to change. I had a desired weight. I've already reached that goal. But guess what? I'm still not happy or complete with who I am. So I still have to do more. So my change is going to keep going until I get what I'm looking for. Same thing has to happen for you. You have got to change and continue to change. Biblically, the Bible tells us that there's angels before the throne of God covering their faces with their wings. Why? Because every time they look up, God is changing in front of them. Every time they see him again, he changed. Oh, man. So if God is changing, why can't you? We say God don't change, but he does. He does change. I don't care what anybody else tell you. What we don't understand is he's always been and always will be. It's a change for us that's different. But he don't have to change because he already is that. But my first glimpse of him might be as a healer. But my next glimpse of him might be a savior. My next glimpse of him might be prosperity. That's what keeps changing, but that's kind of how I keep dealing with him, or he deals with me as I continue in my walk. But let's talk about you just day to day right now. Day to day. What in your life needs to change? I grew up, my mother used to have this thing called spring cleaning. I'm cleaning everything that's over here during the winter. The winter is what? Dreary, cold, dark, gloomy. Then the next season is spring. And everybody, it's still not even like super warm out. But just because we start to see flowers and it starts to get the sunlight comes in, we like, yo, it's time for a change. So what do we change? We go out there and we start cleaning house. Some of the things that were there, we were wearing for the winter, we ain't wearing that no more. When the new year comes, how many people make New Year's resolutions? Almost everybody. How many people keep them? New Year's is the biggest time, and you've probably got so many gym memberships, because the first thing people are always trying to do is work on their outside. Today, I'm asking you to work on your inside. We're going to flip this thing because we're working backwards. Let's work on the inside. We're going to go inside out. When we work on what's going on with you internally, everybody's going to see it. Oh, man, on the outside. So we got to change something internally. So I'm just saying, if you're dealing with depression, what are you depressed about? And how are you handling the depression? If you're dealing with insecurity, what are you insecure about? And then how do you handle it? If you're angry, it doesn't, whatever it is that has you in a place where you know, hey, you know what? I need to change. How are you going to respond? Is it going to still be drugs and alcohol? Is it going to be sleeping around with somebody you know you don't even really want to sleep with? They just there for the moment. What is it? Because that's not good either. Keep doing stuff like that. Now you ended up having a kid. You're pregnant by somebody you don't even like. That's the results of your response. How did you respond? And usually we respond with whatever just makes our flesh feel good for the moment. not what's dealing with us internally. Internally, this is what has me jacked up. You know what? I was raped. That's the truth. If that's you, say I was raped. It made me angry. So now, how did I respond? How am I going to respond? Am I going to just go out here and attack all the people, any person from the opposite sex, hate on them? What am I going to do? I seen someone who was raped and it was given a sexually transmitted disease that was incurable, and she started passing it on to everybody else. That's her response. What was done to her, so now she's making everybody pay. Now, I understand that, but it depends where you're at in life. I can understand that. We all think eye for an eye. You punch me in the face, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Not just me, my crew gonna hit you too. That's just what it is. But is that the way that God wants us to respond? It's hard to really process. What would Jesus do? Ananias and Sapphira, they come up. They were supposed to sell their land, come kick the money in. And Peter, they end up coming in and they lie. So Peter said, you didn't lie to me, you lied to the Holy Spirit. And so now they die. Do you think Jesus would have responded that way? I don't believe so. Mary Magdalene was out here. Yes, she's a prostitute. These people can stone her to death. He gets out there and says, yo, any one of y'all who ain't did nothing, throw the first rock. So that tells me that he's the ultimate form of forgiveness, but that's how he responded. So now let's bring this back to you. How are you going to respond? You're responsible for your response. And when you begin to change the way you respond, something's going to change for you. So today I'm asking for each and every one of you to change your response. Say, I'm going to change my response. Say it again. Say, I'm going to change my response. One more time. Say, I'm going to change my response because I need something to change for me because I want better. Say, I want better. Say, my life is more than this. And it's time for me to walk in my better. So today's the day that I'm going to change how I respond. No longer responding with negativity. I don't know why some of the things happen to you. Just like I don't know why some of the things happen to me. But how we respond is our responsibility. Jesus, he tells them, they go and ask him, yo, what's up with these commandments? Which one's the best? Which one's up? He said, yo, check this out. He said, love the Lord thy God, right? With all your heart. Then he said, yo, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So now, there's 3 things he just gave us. Love God, number 1, most important. Right? And he said, love your neighbor. But what he said was, as you love yourself. He's expecting us to love ourselves. If you don't love yourself, guess what? You know you need to change something. Because there's some people who don't love themselves. Your neighbor is, I didn't know I was about to do a Bible study, but your neighbor is not your next door neighbor. It's impossible. It's from Pastor E. It's impossible to love everybody like you love yourself. It's impossible. So if you keep reading down in the text, he tells us exactly who our neighbor is. Your neighbor is the person that showed you mercy. So what he's saying is that person that shows you mercy, you love them as much as you love yourself. Now, he did not tell you not to be the neighbor, though. So that means what he's saying is he's expecting for you to be the one that shows mercy. Once we do that, we will continuously have a better life because we need to be showing mercy to everyone. I am a product of mercy. I know what mercy is. If you don't know what mercy is, you need to go ask somebody. I could tell you right now, but you got to go search for that. Mercy is even greater than grace. So many of us don't understand that we don't want to even extend mercy to others. So now with no mercy, there's no forgiveness. So how can you be forgiven or expect forgiveness when you can't show it? These is why things got to change. So you have to change something. So that's something to change. Say, I'm changing, Pastor E. Say, I'm about to change. I promise you, your life will get better once you change. Say, I'm one better. Hey, I'll see y'all in the next podcast. It's Pastor E. Y'all like, subscribe, share, send some comments. We'll answer them. Deuces.